going to talk about this and more today with guests from all walks of life who have a lot to say about this, and it is a hot topic that has Americans up in arms. Let's start with you, James. You graduated from Pepperdine University, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Currently, you have $74,000 in student debt. And do you have a job?
I currently work as a program director for Burbank High School as the volleyball coach.
Great.
That's what I use my degree for.
Better than you would have if you didn't have the degree?
I didn't know what I would do if I didn't have a degree. It's just was given either work in blue collar, go into trade, whatever that I was taught from my family growing up.
So did you have a Pell Grant?
Yes, I did.
And so you get 20,000?
That's what I'm hoping
knocked
for.
down, so you go 76 to 56.
Yes.
But you still owe $56,000.
I still owe $56,000.
And what's the percentage interest rate?
Under the impression that my loans are between 3 to 5% of interest, I haven't been able to afford a single payment ever since I graduated. I've been stuck below of my income level since graduating.
So you've made no payments?
No payments. They have been forbeared and deferred ever since I graduated.
Okay, and Inez Stepman is a senior policy analyst at Independent Women's Forum and a college graduate who took out student loans to pay for college. And Inez, you say student loan forgiveness is that the whole plan is just terrible and worsens an already broken system, right?
Yeah, because it doesn't deal with the underlying problem, which, as you alluded to in the beginning of the show, is actually the cost of college and how fast that's going up. So these kinds of forgiveness plans, like the underlying student loan plans, have forced that cost up and up and up, well above inflation already for 3 decades. And that's why it's $74,000, right? That's why it's unsustainable. It is a real problem. It's a huge amount of debt. The values of these degrees are not worth the amount of debt that kids are taking out. So I understand that problem, but this actually makes it worse. And it makes it worse on the backs of people who didn't go to college, right? Who maybe made a lot of sacrifices in order to not have that amount of debt. And this is not a fair way to deal with this problem.
Well, let me ask the audience just in general, based on what you know, were you in favor of this loan forgiveness plan? If you were, raise your hand. Raise it high so the camera can see it. Okay, so that looks like about half, maybe. Why is it a good deal?
I'm a nurse, and I actually just completed my doctorate, so I would venture to say I owe more than anybody else in this room. Maybe not, but it's a lot. But I'm so grateful for financial aid and some for forgiveness. My son had to start out with debt as a new father and new husband, and he has a lot of anxiety behind that. So when he heard about the Biden administration doing this, he was excited. He called me, "Mom, did you hear? Did you hear?" And I'm like, "Yes, of course I did." So
this plan makes a sucker out of me. You know, I went to an affordable state school, worked nights from a week before my freshman year started, graduated in 3 years. I'm a sucker. I should have taken a loan and hit the bars with my friends when I worked those 24-hour shifts.
What do you think? Good deal or bad deal?
I think that investing in a more educated society is a good thing. I think that things have to change at some point, so why not now? I think that it is predatory, the way that these loan companies rely on putting young people into an insane amount of debt. And I think it's something that we need to change. And I'm sorry that it didn't happen in time for you, but I don't think that that's a reason to prevent it from happening.
Exactly.
All right. Charlie Eaton is an economic physiologist, professor at UC Merced, and author of Bankers in the Ivory Tower. Charlie, you support this, correct?
That's right.
Why?
I think it's going to be transformative for millions of people's lives. There's 41 million borrowers who are going to have their debt reduced. And of those folks, you've got millions of people who are in negative net worth because of student debt. And when you cancel debt, it lets people do things that aren't previously possible. It lets people like James pursue careers in public service, like working at Burbank High School. It lets folks start small businesses. And it lets folks start families and save to buy homes. And so I think it's going to be transformative for a lot of people. It's going to right a wrong, because it used to be, if you go back to the 1970s, only 1 in 8 Americans had a student loan who went to college. Today, it's most folks who go to school, even a trade school. 40% of people with student debt don't have a college degree.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.